That game looks sick, actually. It really does. This makes that last game look bad. Generic intro into that goes me here. Back with some more DBcember. Today we're finishing up the top Dragon Ball video games with the third, second, and first one, as well as the FighterZ special because it's only 6 minutes long. I'm throwing that in here as well. And you all told me in the last video, which you can find right up there, that I should definitely watch the FighterZ. Apparently that was a game that had not come out yet, and they were basically talking about what they like about it before it even came out, what was already known about it. So very interesting. I've never played any of these. I've actually never heard of any of these until Kakarot, because people were telling me to play Kakarot for the gaming channel, which I might do in the future. I'm not really sure. But next week we'll get into the Dragon Ball top fights, which is going to be probably really popular because Dragon Ball is known for its fighting. But thank you all so much for the support you've shown in this series. Shout out to all the patrons. Thank you to videos there early on the paywall on channel. I hope you're subscribed. I read all the comments, leave some down below. Hope you're having a good day. Hopefully I can make it better. Let's go ahead and jump into the third one. Alright. We're jumping into number 3. I probably should make a DBcember playlist. I probably should. But I already have so many playlists already because I upload so many videos. Boo's Fury for Game Boy Advance.
Looks like Boo's taking on the bronze today.
But there's no shame in third
well,
place
the Olympics are going on.
Packed full of great games. And as the biggest fan of this particular game, let me take the reins.
By all means, please tell us what this GBA game is doing here.
This
Why is it
Kieran,
GBA? Just say Game
more
Boy
than
Advance
just a
or Advance
GBA
game.
It's the perfection of the Legacy of Goku franchise.
Legacy of Goku? You mean
Wait,
that
what?
action RPG series made by Webfoot Technologies, known for their classics American Girl, Julie Finds a Way, and Taiketsu?
What? I don't. What is that bad?
Listen,
I have no
guys,
idea.
There's a reason Legacy of Goku 1 isn't on this list. There's a reason Legacy of Goku 2 isn't on this list. Because in Boo's Fury, they had the closest to a perfect Dragon Ball action RPG for the Game Boy Advance they were ever going to
Is that Nappa?
get. Those aren't qualifiers, they're layers of greatness. Clocking in at approximately 7.5 hours.
Not including some lengthy
That's
side
it?
quests.
This game starts you off at the Otherworld tournament and allows you to battle and explore all the way through to the end of the series. Yes, including Oob. That's a whole 100 episodes to cover, and it's a crazy adventure from start to finish.
The gameplay is the best of the series, as we said, and while it's still a little wonky in some places, the customization of your character can help take off some of the stress, and the special moves feel so satisfying.
That's like crazy in that, like all the stats and stuff. I love games that have stats and stuff.
Ashes. I mean, there aren't really ashes there.
128.
Yeah, one of the highlights of
Jelly
this
beans?
game is its ability to make your characters feel powerful, like crazy powerful. This is the most responsive these games have ever felt, and with the ability to customize your character's growth as they level
For
up,
Game Boy
as
Advance,
well as a shit ton of equipment, you can diversify your playstyle and become a downright god.
the graphics
Of
are
course,
actually kind
one
of
the
pretty
issues
good
with the
too.
leveling up is that the game can become a breeze if you utilize a couple of tricks. The game actually gives you weights to equip to your characters to help them gain experience, and they should make things way tougher for you. But if you get used to your new movement, you'll find yourself making your way through the game with relative ease, albeit a bit slower. And by the time
that's
you're
good.
fighting Majin Vegeta, you're
That gives you
slaughtering him in a couple of hits.
replay
But if you
position.
take your time and
or
focus on playing
potential.
for a challenge as well as exploration, you'll be fine. And when it comes
Seems
to
kinda cool.
exploration, you'll find plenty to dig up and enjoy here, as little Easter eggs and collectibles are scattered throughout the levels, with nods to both the series and previous games to be found in abundance.
This game did not receive critical acclaim back when it was released, but it has dug a hole into the hearts of fans everywhere, laid its eggs, and left us all with wonderful, squirming nostalgia. It's also one of the only American-developed games on the list, with the exception of my beautiful, terrible Baby Sagas.
Yeah, and that explains the
Baby
music.
Sagas.
The Legacy
Oh
of
yeah,
Goku
Baby.
games were
Yeah.
known for their use of the Bruce Faulkner scores, as the games
It's
were
over on the
developed
nightstand.
specifically with a Western audience in mind by an American developer. And before you can say it, Kaiser,
I love the music.
excuse you?
What, did you expect some rant about Faulkner's
I
music?
always turn the
One of
music off when I
issues
play it on
have
Game
with
Boy
this music
or
is that it's
DS or
repetitive
anything.
synth. But you put that in a video game.
I
that's
was
designed
never
for
a fan. Like
realistic
Pokemon,
instrumentals
always
utilizing
turned it
some of
off.
the
Couldn't
best
stand it.
music his team ever produced. Exactly what do I have to complain about? It's most effective in this environment, and honestly enhances the experience.
Is that two Nappas?
Every level, whether it be
My brother came
mystical,
in looking for my gun.
action-heavy, etc.
Well, that's
That's actually
pleasant
concerning.
Still sucks in the show though.
And there it is.
Did we mention the numbers? Because I fucking love numbers.
Yeah, I
Being able to
love
see
the
just how
numbers,
much damage
yes.
is being done and calculate for the difference
Even if I don't even
between
understand what they mean, like special attack and stuff, like in Pokemon.
Kieran's number fitted
So cool.
aside, one of the other cool features in this game is the ability to fuse on the fly as Gotenks, as well as the ability to unlock Gogeta and Vegeta. This is the only time we've ever seen base form Gogeta. Come on, Super, just give us Gogeta. You know we want him.
This game has a special place in many Dragon Ball fans' hearts, especially those in the West. Though it's definitely too easy, the in-game portraits range from acceptable to...
Oh god, yeah, Jirobe, what's wrong with your
face?
And there's some unnecessary padding where legitimate...
That's the picture they take at you at the DMV.
Also, you only play as the Saiyans.
Like, Piffle?
The whole game. Which,
Home for Infinite Losers?
Part of the series makes sense, but it still kind of sucks, you know.
Also, apparently changed the title like multiple times and changed the thumbnail 3 times.
Game like this ever again. Dragon Ball Z Boo's Fury, a gem of its
time. He turned into a ball and run away. Oh wait, that was Boo Things. Didn't he turn people into like candies? Oh, there's I guess the final one they stuck with. Next one. And number 2, before we get into the FighterZ? Yeah, FighterZ. So that was a Game Boy Advance game.
2.
What's number 2 going to be? PS2 and the Wii. A Wii game?
Make the list. Heck,
really?
Sure they knew it was going to be top 3.
But where was it going to land exactly?
At number 2, it's Budokai Tenkaichi 3. Man, what do we even have to say about this game that hasn't been said a million times before?
This may surprise some, but this is my absolute favorite Dragon Ball game.
You're right.
Oh, so what's going to be number 1?
In all honesty, nostalgia is a sizable part of it. But beyond that, I think it's impossible to look past everything this game has going for it. And the first and most obvious, its roster.
I feel like Spike saw the writing on the wall for 3D Dragon Ball games and just
PS2
went
and Wii.
nuts.
Like, those are the only 2.
They would go on to work on Raging Blast 2, which we all agree is great, but Tenkaichi 3 is a colossal titan of a game.
This is, by far,
that's
the
some
largest character roster in the game's history at 161 characters. And
that's a lot. They need 8 more.
With number 1 being Tobal 2 at 200. Also
What's
brought
Tobal
that
2?
back around. Boom!
And true,
What's
a lot
2?
of them are just different forms of certain characters.
Is that another Dragon Ball game?
Name me another game where you can play as a Raleigh, or Aider, or even Devilman. You can take Krillin and pit him up against Tambourine in an OG Dragon Ball grudge match.
And that is undoubtedly the biggest draw of the game. Being able to take 2 characters from vastly different parts of the story and slamming them up against each other.
To see who would win.
I used to write fan fiction in study hall, and shout out to my man Sprawl Wars. I used to make Tenkaichi 3 Machinima for myself and reenact stuff. It's the ultimate toy box.
This game
that was the thing? Tenkaichi 3 Machinima?
Sonic Sway,
like,
the Z counter, and Battle Replay, to name a few. And it even employed a nighttime function that would allow certain Saiyan characters to transform into their Ozaru forms.
Of course, there's the elephant in the room, the sticking point of many of this game's detractors. So many of these characters are just model swaps with little variations in playstyle that ultimately makes a majority of the characters feel exactly the same as the next.
And that is a legitimate complaint.
Immersion.
Not having any variety between your characters can make their inclusion feel pointless. But here, that's not necessarily the point. I can't tell you how much fun I've had in this game. It is the supreme Dragon Ball toy box, completely unfettered by anything like balance or other gaming conventions.
Although, that ultimately did end up losing me. Even as the biggest Dragon Ball fan here, by the time I was done with Tenkaichi 2, it was difficult for me to find anything here that could pull me back into the series. But, on its own, it's a monumental game.
Does it just tell the story of the game?
That want to smash action figures up against each other.
And it's worth noting that while the characters can feel samey, the game has a ton of depth if you know what you're doing. And its speed is almost unmatched in the franchise as a whole. It does what I personally believe every Dragon Ball Arena game should do, and openly embraces its wacky nature instead of lying to itself that it can.
So it is a straight up fighting game, right? Like there's no like story.
Wrong for wanting their arena fighters to be serious and technical, but let's not kid ourselves here. The reason this game is great is simply because of how insane it is. I don't need Jace to be as strong as Gogeta. I just want to throw my toys together until they explode.
This game could be retitled to Ultimate Dragon Ball Simulator, and it'd be perfect. Just give me some ragdoll physics, and I'm golden.
Ragdoll physics.
Lacks in balance and variation.
Everybody loves ragdolls.
It makes up for in charm and size. There's just so much Dragon Ball here, it's hard to ignore.
161 characters.
Gives you this expanse of characters in the most unabashed way, and that's not dismissing it either. I don't think the gameplay is the best, but as a Dragon Ball reenactment game, it's pretty spectacular.
You've got beam struggles. You've
it
got
came up for the
PS2
PS2 and the Wii.
You even got those things where everyone flies around all the time, and all you see are the collisions in the middle of the air. Like, what the hell?
Wait, they have that?
You are too good.
It's a schoolboy's wet dream, and unfortunately, it's pretty rare too.
A lot of people want this game, man, and for good reason.
Wait, so you can't even find it?
Nothing else quite like it. If you are a fan of the experience that is Dragon Ball,
there's probably emulators or something.
Encapsulates the kinetic nature of the Z era.
You probably can't find it, maybe? Maybe that's why? I don't know, y'all told me I should watch like their playthroughs of the games. Into the FighterZ. Okay, the FighterZ video, which I don't know anything about FighterZ. I also didn't know anything about any Dragon Ball games until this, other than Kakarot.
On June 9th, 2017, Bandai Namco
Xbox One,
announced
PS4,
a new
PC.
2.5D anime-style fighting game to be
2.5D,
released in early
what?
2018 for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Steam. Developed by Arc System Works, the same company responsible for the Supersonic Warrior games, Extreme Butoden, and a few more anime fighters you might remember, the game would be titled Dragon Ball FighterZ.
They don't make Persona, do they? P4A?
Erupted at this announcement with the promotional material displaying gorgeous cel-shaded graphics and a classic ArcSys-style fighting engine that emphasized speed, combos,
Wow,
and
that
3-on-3
this makes that
tag
last
system.
game look
This would be the first
bad,
console-based
just the
traditional
graphics
fighter
wise.
for Dragon Ball since Infinite World back in 2008.
The initial roster included Goku, Vegeta, Frieza, Cell, Gohan, and Buu. But quickly, characters would add up, and we'd even be introduced to a new character designed by Toriyama himself, Android 21. Ostensibly the villain of the game,
9 plus
and
10.
a researcher for the Red Ribbon Army with an intelligence that, quote, rivals that of Dr. Ghetto.
This game could not be included in the list proper, as while we have indeed played the game, it has yet to be released as a finished product. But we're
Wait,
just
how
gonna
have they
flat out
played
say
it?
this. If this game had already been released this year, it almost certainly would have made the top 3, if not number 1.
Something we mentioned with Super Dragon Ball Z was the
That's why they
idea
made a
of
video
making
about it, I guess.
fighting game first and a Dragon Ball Z game second. I'll be the first to admit that Super DBZ skewed much more toward the former than the latter, and for many fans, that was to its detriment. But ArcSys seems dead set on giving you
Oh
a
no,
full,
1610.
balanced measure of both.
And we're not talking
Oh, and that
teaspoons.
was
We got
that was when
gallon
Cell
jugs
was
on the
like
scale
boss
here,
music
with the
playing.
most fluid and intuitive controls I've ever handled for a Dragon Ball game, and a speed that is frankly unmatched by the rest of its
Hello, Boo.
predecessors. I personally
God, I
always
wish
used
they'd
the
continue
idea of
Dragon
a
Ball Z
Marvel
Bridge
versus
with
Capcom
Boo.
style Dragon Ball game, and ArcSys has given me all that and more.
The controls feature 3 primary attack buttons, 1 unique action button, and 2 assists. You can fire key or special moves that use meter, rush down people
I
with a super
don't know
dash,
fighting
use
game
vanish
terms.
attack to teleport behind your opponent, and when you're in a pinch, you use your sparking blast to regain blue health bar and power
Blue
up
health
your
bar.
character. And this is really dumbing it down for the sake of not getting too technical.
Not that the system itself is greatly complicated. In fact, ArcSys knew exactly what they were doing in the development of this title, considering the fan base involved. While Dragon Ball has had a plethora of traditional fighting games, almost none of them feature intensely technical mechanics.
There's a simple universal combo that can be used by every character, and the control scheme is simple to learn. But each
Now I hear
character
yelling.
is specialized in different ways, some greater and some slighter than the other, to vary up the build of your 3-character team. So you can stack offense
3
or
character
defense,
God, that
or
sounds so
go for a more
confusing.
balanced breakfast.
And once
I
you're
guess that
learning
makes it so it's not the same
character-specific
characters
combos
versus
and
each
mastering
other, you know?
mechanics, you'll find a surprising amount of depth. It's incredibly
Oh.
easy to pick up, but offers you a whole world
Itself.
of terrific and varied gameplay, unlike any Dragon Ball game before it. But it's not just the
It
controls
looks
that get our
great.
mouths watering.
They say you eat first with your eyes. Well, friends, you better have a second stomach for these insane graphics. ArcSys has
do
mastered
look
the
really
Unreal
good.
Engine's ability to offer what may
Wow,
arguably be
they're
some
using
of the
Unreal
best
Engine? No
cel-shading in
wonder.
the entire industry, rivaling the Ninja Storm games from CyberConnect 2. Each character is beautifully rendered and
Trunks.
supported by
God, I love his hair.
spectacular effects work.
But even more impressive is their attention to
Gohan,
detail.
grown-up
Almost
Gohan.
every single move these characters
Krillin
make
with
is
no
lifted
nose.
directly from the manga and anime, recreating their techniques and poses with astounding accuracy. It's mind-blowing.
So yeah,
just
this
how
would
far
definitely
they
be
go.
number 1 then,
And
right?
Recently, they even announced
Right, would it?
cinematic,
What is your
dramatic
favorite
finishers
Dragon Ball
if
game?
certain requirements are met. They're insane. And did we even mention the destructible environments?
It's gotta be mentioned the buzz this game has made in the fighting game community. For the first time, I'm pretty sure
Effing
ever
Ginyu.
a Dragon Ball game is being considered for competitive play. For those of you unfamiliar with that, this is basically unheard of. Because as I
Why?
said before, Dragon Ball fighting
They've
games
been
are
a
almost
story game.
always Dragon Ball games first.
Why
and
is my
fighting
ex
games
texting me?
way second.
It's gotten some of the biggest names in the community not only curious about it, but guys like Maximilian Dude going balls to the wall with coverage of the game, and even getting into the series proper for the first time because of it. And apparently, he's even watched some DBZA.
It can't be
Oh, he
understated
has?
how well this game balances
Were they in
remarkable
a game?
graphics with addictive and intensely enjoyable gameplay.
Wait, is
Both of them
FighterZ the
giving
one
you a
that
Dragon Ball
they're, like,
experience
in, they make
unlike
references
any
to?
other. While the arena fighters try to give you the experience of playing the anime, and there's always going to be a market for that, this game feels like the peak of traditional Dragon Ball fighters in every way. But we'll have to see how things pan out when it finally drops in Oh shit, January. Oh man, I could be dead by then.
It's definitely possible for them to drop the 4-star ball in between now and the release date. The official announcement for their Shenron system, which allows characters to collect Dragon Balls during combat by inputting specific combos and unlocking a game-changing wish in the middle of battle once they've collected them, could end up being a blessing or a curse for this game, depending on its implementation.
That sounds crazy.
And who knows whether or not its single-player story mode will hold up. Original stories in Dragon Ball games have rarely thrilled the audience much. Of course,
well, yeah, because
we'll
it's different
be
from
checking
the
in on the
original.
second beta when it starts in January. And you
that's what they played the beta. Okay.
From us when the game proper is in our hands.
But what we do know is that
so
our
is it as good as they thought it was
going to be? Never been higher. And we were in Xenoverse 1 and 2. We can't wait to get our hands on this game proper and share it with the world. But we all agree FighterZ is a silly name, right?
Oh yeah, totally. But
FighterZ
absurd
with a
names
Z?
are kind of what Arxis is all about.
You mean absurd names?
That pun just calamity triggered me.
Oh, come on, guys. Bring it down, a rebel.
A rebel? I have no idea. Best of Dragon Ball FighterZ. I wonder if I could react to that. Best of. That would be a short video. Into the number 1. Alright, this video is a good bit longer. I'm making this video longer. I'm trying to record a bunch of videos today. I might actually not do another. I was thinking about doing 9 videos today, but I don't think I have enough time.
Okay, it was this or Tenkaichi 3,
Why am I
considering that game
me?
already crushed the number 2 slot.
Budokai 3?
This
Okay.
game reigns supreme. And let me tell you, there was plenty of debate to go
It
around.
came out on everything.
Let's be honest.
Dragon Ball Z Budokai 3 is the biggest name in Dragon Ball games, and for all the right reasons.
And the best part, the
Oh,
remasters that
because
came
it
out
literally
just a few
looks
years
like
ago,
the anime
most of our
itself.
fans listening can still get their hands on it. Though honestly, we still recommend the PS2 version for musical reasons.
Why?
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 While Tenkaichi 3 is my personal favorite,
what?
there's no denying Budokai 3 is the single
changed the
best
music or something?
Dragon Ball game to date for one defining quality that sets it way above the rest. It's production.
When it came to capturing the spectacle of Dragon Ball, Budokai 3 fully understood how to translate the anime to the game with great success, especially given the limitations of the PS2 hardware.
Every ultimate move in this game is a feast for the senses.
It has
The
like a little
visuals, the
cutscene.
sound
I mean,
design, the gameplay, the beautiful
I'm sure for the
masters
time,
and
this
polished
looked
these
great.
games with each installment and captured the essence of Dragon Ball more than I ever felt Spike managed. When your super gauge is at full mast and you're entering the climax of
Full
your
mast.
battle.
Good
Stop.
Lord, man. Think of the children.
You, while I'm climaxing? No thanks.
Speaking
Oh,
of kids,
God,
this
stop.
blew our minds back in
Yo,
the
it's
day. Watching
Imperfect
the
Cell.
evolution of this series from its humble beginnings to the speedy, flashy, and fun experience it became was amazing. The ping-pong teleportation combos, beam clashes, super moves, transformations, and utterly ludicrous
Numbers.
amount of customization for each fighter made this game a standout.
Unfortunately, the story
That sounds
mode
awesome.
is a noticeable step down from 1 in terms of actual cinematics, switching them out
'Cause
for
it's
talking
like
character
this.
portraits, but the Dragon world is
Ugh.
exceptionally enjoyable to explore. And as the 3rd game in the series, we think they knew that the story might be the least interesting aspect of the franchise, and that the gameplay was the focus here. And they still fit in a truckload of
Where
secret
was the
what
second and
ifs,
third, or
uncovered
second and first one
character
at in
stories,
this?
plus tons of brutal challenges, unlockables, and hidden characters.
How about that Dragon Rush? Hey, Kaiser?
This is a joke about Tenshinhan versus Super Buu, isn't it?
How many rounds was that?
About 20 too many.
One of the best features in terms of
Jesus.
the story is being able to play through it
I guess
as
that's
each
when they play
character,
through it.
customizing them along the way. You can focus on key attacks, physical attacks, defense, whatever. Just don't be like Kaiser.
Can you get PTSD from a video game?
I'll press F for you, Kaiser.
Seriously though, the improvements in gameplay
Oh, boy,
in
as I said,
Budokai
Fight
3 are
22.
hand over fist better in comparison to Budokai 1's progression over Budokai 2. Where 2 felt more like a graphical overhaul, 3 takes the speed to the extreme, making the characters feel fast and furious, and until now, gives us arguably the best fighting experience the franchise has
The fact
yet.
that it came on PS2
Until
and
January,
PS3.
at least.
Moreover, this game just oozes charm. Each menu is lovingly stylized and referential to the series. The tiniest things like having the health bar be a scouter that shatters when you die is just one of the many
Oh,
testaments
I didn't
how
even
Games
notice
cares
that.
about the source
That's
material.
A
cool.
major contention in gameplay is the Dragon Rush system, because while it looks stupid cool, it introduces luck as a major part of the game. It's not
Is it
outright
RNG?
terrible, but it's something the game would probably be better without. The cinematics involved do push it miles ahead of the others, though. Like, man, when Goku screams out his dragon fist, oh, you just feel it, man.
Speaking of the voice cast, Okay, this is gonna sound a little silly as hell for those who
What?
haven't heard it, but I got
I haven't
my
heard it.
start really trying to voice act by imitating the Budokai performances. I'd play for hours, voicing each character as I did. It's how I developed my Piccolo and Vegeta.
Are you serious?
Really?
Because
I mean,
that's
it worked for
adorable.
him.
Yeah, just imagine little teenage Lanny button mashing. and
Screaming child.
Fuck you, Kakarot! Gallic gun, fire!
So literally nothing
Fair.
has changed.
Of course, the big elephant in the room is the music. A big, beautiful, plagiarized elephant. See, we've talked about this quite a bit through the
Explain
countdown. Because this man used to be involved heavily with
Kenji
the franchise,
Yamamoto?
providing the music for several games since the 90s, and even tracks for both the original Z and the music for Dragon Ball Kai.
Okay, but did
Before
he...
they realized that his tracks, while catchy and memorable and real staples of the franchise, were stolen from several...
Who? From... Oh. Wait.
Several...
Okay, let's listen to this. From Avatar? I haven't actually seen that movie.
places.
So he literally took a song. Oh,
But
that's...
man, the music really was spectacular. I guess that's what happens when you steal from the
He
greats.
literally
Unfortunately, though,
Dragon Ball
justly, said stolen music was replaced for the remaster. And no, it doesn't hold a candle.
But you know what wasn't stolen? The intro song! Hironobu Kageyama's Ore wa Tokoton Tomaranai is one of the best opening tracks for a game I think I've ever heard.
Okay.
Combine that with its crisp animation, full of spectacular cuts and bright, vibrant
The
colors.
chaos
It's such
in
a
this video has
spectacle
been
to get you
insane.
all riled up for this wonderful game.
The whole package is a real masterwork for its time. From the sound design to the presentation to its gameplay, I just can't geek out enough over the feelings that this game gave me as a boy and for the nostalgia it brings back as a man. Just hearing some of those old tracks gets me grooving in my seat and wanting to see those clever
So are
and
they...
detailed
Is that... I'm
levels.
guessing that's
Also,
remaster
it's one of
right
the
there.
first games since Final Bout to actually include GT. And yes, that's a positive. It'd be the first time anyone could play not only as Super Saiyan 4 Goku, but Vegeta and Gogeta as well. Plus, it would also be the first time American audiences could play as Broly and Bardock.
I think this game had a hand in making them the mainstays that they
Okay.
are in Dragon Ball fandom. My generation of fans had this
Is Bardock that
mythical
big of a
view
deal?
of those characters.
Is he? I know
They seem
Broly is.
larger than life, and in this game, they're absolutely unforgettable. I will always treasure Super Saiyan 4 Gogetas and Bardock's ultimates in this game.
And this was one of the first games to implement the stage
That looks
destruction
painful.
transition after a super attack that we'd see become a staple in Dragon Ball titles to follow. When Vegeta
Oh.
uses Final Flash and you see it blasting off the
Off the-
planet, it's just insane.
And
Then the
I guess
characters fall back to a
everything
ruined
changes.
version of the stage and
Oh,
dude,
that's sick.
It's no wonder why people treasure this game so fondly. It just so perfectly captures that
That's so
energy
cool.
that permeated Dragon Ball at that time. For
'Cause the
first
world-
time,
that's more than a
really
destroyable
allowing you to
bear-
relive the highest moments
like,
of the franchise.
environment.
There was just no comparison at the time.
Though it'd be a mistake not to point out the glaring flaw of these games. The characters can all kind of feel the same. And that's a real undeniable
Wasn't that the
problem
issue
that
with
keeps this game
another
from
one?
being a truly good fighting game. And keeps it locked squarely
That was
in the
issue
realm
number
of being
2,
a
right?
fantastic Dragon Ball game.
It's unfortunate, really. While we were all willing to forgive these issues as fans of the series, looking to recreate these epic battles first and a deep, complex fighting system second, it's a real detriment in retrospect. But honestly, not enough to knock it out of the #1 spot, because frankly, it still dazzled and entertained us as Dragon Ball fans, and that's what it needed
So
to
this
do.
this got
As a
nostalgia
fan or a
points big
newcomer,
time.
This game is a perfect mesh of insanity that makes the player feel like a controlled explosion. I've never seen someone play this game with a straight face. There's something about it that pulls out the
Fair.
inner child in anyone.
And you can see us man-children play
Fight
the game
22.
over on our TFS gaming channel. All the hype and goofs are abound. Come on over and check it out.
Each game on this list has something
Nope.
special about it.
Ca-
And when it comes to every tiny
Is that
part of a game
Kid
functioning
Trunks?
together, there's nothing better than the well-oiled hype train that is Budokai 3. It's simply sparking.
Is that a giant fish in the
And with
background?
that,
Is
our
that the-
year's
oh.
DBcember comes to a close. But you might have noticed an absence from the list that I think everyone has on their mind.
With
Who?
FighterZ still unreleased as of the time
Oh.
of this recording, we couldn't include it in this list proper. But
Yeah.
worry not, our faithful watchers. If you too felt a Z-shaped hole in this countdown, we've got
A
our own
Z-shaped
video
hole.
dedicated to it. Check the channel. for
Yeah, I
the
just watched it.
Let's be frank.
Yeah.
Given the exceptionally fun time we had in the beta, combined with the plethora of content that's been announced since then, it's more than likely Fighters would have made it into our top 3. Hell, it probably would have made our #1. But
Yeah,
much
probably.
our
It sound
build
like
list,
it, 'cause
we're
they
not
talked-
going to make our decision without the final product in our hands
Yeah.
and hours of
You can't
gameplay
do that,
under
yeah.
our belts. With that in mind, perhaps give our breakdown a watch and let us know what you think.
I just did.
What looks to be the best Dragon Ball game to date?
Fingers crossed. I have
Is better than Kakarot?
They're no strangers to the franchise, and
that game looks sick, actually. It really does.
To go all out.
Damn, looking back at all these with more releases
Why is there a
around
sand
every
shore on
corner,
the shoulder?
including a new 20th film. Holy shit. It's crazy realizing how big Dragon Ball still is.
The fandom was
cash
honestly
cow,
ebbing in the
apparently.
West until the first Budokai came out. And it's been a yearly game ever since, practically.
The Dragon Ball video games have been stoking the flame of fandom since 2001, and I think we still have a bright future ahead of us.
So while we've completed our top 24 for this year, who knows what
I
will
like
be
how
in
they
store
do it
for
like
the
this
future.
instead of like actually
man,
a video.
I'd kill for a Fusions 2. Or a sequel to Attack of the Saiyans. A Dragon Ball Dynasty Warriors game where you fight an alien army from another dimension. Come on, Bandai Namco!
Yeah, Dragon Ball ain't going nowhere. In 2017,
No, it's not.
the phrase Dragon Ball was the #4 most trending hashtag in all of Japan on Twitter.
And with Super still barreling
Really?
forward, you can expect even more games in the future. Xenoverse 3, third time's the charm?
Who knows exactly what the future
Kakarot.
holds? But we here at TFS will be ready to check everything out. And play them on our gaming channel.
And for you Dragon Ball Z Abridged fans, we've got something very special for you good boys and girls.
What?
The
Dragon Ball-
death of Christmas!
The plan to
Oh,
eradicate
yes.
Christmas
I reacted to that
drops
as
tomorrow.
well.
So hit that
Wow.
dingy bell to know when you can open your present.
We hope you've enjoyed our countdown, and we'll see you again next
That's
year
adorable.
for more DBcember.
Thanks for
Yeah,
having
what is
me,
one on my
guys.
phone?
Stay beautiful,
Kirby just
friends.
texted me.
From us to all of you, happy
Happy
holidays
holidays
from Team 4-Star.
Oh, that's so cool. Wow, we learned a lot in this one. And next week we'll be back with the top 12 at Dragon Ball Fights, which is going to be a really good one because Dragon Ball is known for its fights. So that was interesting. FighterZ definitely, I think, would have been #1. Well, it depends because they said that there was some stuff that was still up in the air and they weren't sure how it's going to be implemented. So based on how they were talking in that video, yes, if everything went well. As long as nothing went bad, it probably would have been #1. But that's interesting. Let me know what your top would be. Do you agree with this list? I don't know. I can't form an opinion. But I look forward to reading your comments and learning more about Dragon Ball. I hope you have a great, wonderful rest of the day. I'm going to find out why my ex was texting me. But the chaos of this video, Brother goes to my room looking for my gun. I'm like, it's back there. So he has to walk behind my green screen, grab my gun, leave. Screaming child out there, which is my nephew. Ex texting me. It's absolute chaos. I hope you're subscribed. It'd really make my day, and I hope to see you back for the next video. But until then, take care, and cue the music.
We were playing as soldiers, making soldiers.